Good morning. Welcome to Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis, and it's good to have you with us on this Monday morning. We've got a full work week ahead of us, but then next week we got a holiday. It's kind of sandwiched in the middle of the week. You might know it, 4th of July coming our way, but nevertheless, we'll still have a 4-day work week next week. A little bit, though, to get through this week. It's Mental Health Monday. We got a special guest joining us in just a few moments, but right now, my co-host this Monday, Dr. Nicholas Cox, History Department Chair. Good to see you, Nick.
Good morning. It's good to see you again, Todd.
Did you have a good weekend? Busy weekend, I assume?
I did. I'm teaching a Texas history class, so I spent Sunday grading essays, but I made it over to the Houston Museum of Natural Science to see their King Tut tomb exhibit on Saturday. It was great.
Oh, wow. I forgot that's going on now. That's something, was it definitely worth seeing?
Yeah. I mean, it's a kind of magnificent display of the sarcophagus and the jewelry and the other sort of day-to-day artifacts found in his tomb. It's not a very large exhibit, but the museum has a very large permanent Egyptian exhibit as well. So people will have a good time if they go.
I went to an exhibit, I guess it was about, maybe 10 years ago. They had a King Tut exhibit as well. I don't know if you remember that one. That was a few years back. That was pretty impressive too. And like you said, wasn't large, wasn't what they did back in the 70s. That was fantastic, but it was still definitely worth seeing at the Museum of Fine Arts. Nick, we want to thank everyone watching us on Facebook Live and YouTube this morning. And, they can also catch us in social media anytime and on HCCTV.
That's right. We are live on the Houston Community College Facebook page and on YouTube. We're also on Twitter, LinkedIn, and HCCTV at noon, 5, and 10 p.m. Monday through Friday.
All right, so we've got a big show. Our second guest, we're going to see if we can introduce her real quickly. She just joined us. Susie Molina is joining us live. Susie, how's it going?
Hi, how are you? I'm doing well.
We're doing good, and we're looking forward to hearing from you. We got about 10 minutes to get ready, so you're all good. We will be with you. I'm going to ask you to stand by, and we'll be with you in about 10 minutes.
Okay.
All right, let's kick things off. It's Mental Health Monday, and we've got a guest returning to the show. Of Human Service Technology Program and our Mental Health Monday guest. Welcome back to the show, Nicole. Good to see you.
Thank you so much. It's good to see you as well, Todd.
Now, before we get to the LCPD program that prepares students to work with people who suffer from substance use disorders, can you give us an overview of the Human Service Technology Program and what that's all about?
Absolutely. Well, the Human Service Program located within the Coleman College campus started over 35 years ago. So we offer 4 different tracks, and the students absolutely love the program. We do a great service for the community, but it started all with this shortage of psychiatric technicians within the city of Houston, like I said, over 35 years ago, but still going strong.
One thing I've noticed, and we've had a guest on in the last 6 months talking about this as well, the terminology seems to have changed in this industry. Before it was about addiction, chemical dependency, but I guess that has stigma to it. And now it's being called a chemical dependency disorder. Is that correct?
Yes. Well, substance use disorder, the job title, licensed chemical dependency counselor, is what those licensed by the state of Texas professionals are going by. On the mental health side, they also go by different names. 35 years ago, it was psychiatric technicians. While some places may still use that name, you'll hear social service assistant, mental health technician. Right. Depends on where they work.
Now, I understand the LCDC program at Coleman is the only open admission program. I know with many courses at Coleman, you have to get in at a certain time of year and go through with the and it's very limited as far as when you can apply. But this is a little different. Is that correct?
It's absolutely different. We are the only open admission program at Coleman College. We don't require an application. We don't do interviews. The only exception is once the students are further within the program and they're ready to do their practicum or their internship. That does, of course, require an application.
And it's a flexible program. What does that mean exactly?
Absolutely. So students are welcome to start our program fall, spring, or summer. We typically offer more courses in the fall or spring, so we encourage them to do that, but they can go fall, spring, or summer, start at any time.
And how do you guys answer to the demands of the community? Where are the students going to find themselves working?
Absolutely. So I mentioned the practicums and internships earlier. We have a list of approved sites where students can do that work. And then a lot of times our students aren't in need of having to search for a job when they finish because they've already had that experience and made those connections with the practicums. So we have a list of approved sites where they could possibly work after they graduate.
When they're going through the practicum and getting the training, are they allowed to work in positions that get paid like many other Coleman programs?
Well, it's wide ranging, as I'm sure you know, with all of the programs at Coleman, but essentially, yes. So our substance use counselors, our community health workers, they all have different salaries. So, you know, on one hand, it depends on where you work, but number two, they're all fast track, not a lot of money to get the credential, and very great starting salaries.
What are the 4 tracks available to our students at the paths they take?
So a lot of students aren't quite sure. They know they want to help people, but they're not quite sure where. So a lot of those students will do our associate degree in human service. It's a generalized social service degree. We also offer the certificate in licensed chemical dependency counselor. And then we have 2 occupational skills awards. One is a community health worker and the other is a certified prevention specialist.
And the length of these courses, do they vary? I imagine, do you have 1-year programs, shorter programs? How does that work?
Absolutely. Well, that's the beauty of the program too, that we're open admission because it's flexible that way. So an associate's degree can be achieved in 2 years if the student attends full time, where of course, if someone decides to go part-time for whatever reason, it will take them a little bit longer. The chemical dependency counselor can be completed in 1 year, again, longer if the student goes part-time. Both of the occupational skills awards are fast track. So you could become a community health worker in 2 semesters. You can become a prevention specialist in 2 semesters, or about 1.5 years.
Is there funding available to assist with, with paying for your tuition? Do you have grants or anything like that available for the students?
I am so glad you asked, Todd. So typically we don't. And as a lot of the students know, financial aid does not cover those occupational skills awards. But this is the beauty of this. We do currently have a grant available. And amazingly, I was surprised that we were not able to give away more of that money during the summer. But the good news is we have it available for this fall. So any student interested in chemical dependency counselor, that as a career, we are willing to pay for an in-district tuition rate on a class, maybe 2. I'm just trying to spend the money till the money runs out. It is to train chemical dependency counselors.
So if someone's interested in going this route and they want to utilize those funds, what's the best way to get started? Do they go to your website and enroll, or how does that work?
Absolutely. We're making it as painless and easy as possible. Go to the website, enroll, complete the application, of course, if you're not an HCC student yet. But as long as you declare that you are a LCDC, a chemical dependency counselor major, and you enroll, and I believe I sent over the flyer, there's a specific course that we're looking for the students to start with. We will pay for the in-district tuition rate for that course. If there's still funding available, we will look for another course. But as long as they're an LCDC major, then those are the students that we're looking for. No application. I'm just checking rosters every week.
It sounds like a great time to get started, especially if you want to get into this field now that there is some funding available for you. We're going to put a website and all the information, the links on where they can register to get started with this. Nicole, thanks for being here this morning.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and have a great summer. We'll look forward to getting started in the fall. Thanks, Nicole.
Bye.
All right, we're going to turn things over to Nick, and you've got a special guest joining us now to talk about our entrepreneur initiatives.
That's right, Todd. Welcome back to the show, Susie. Susie Molina is the director of HCC's Entrepreneurial Initiatives, Community Relations, and coordinator of HCC's Verizon STEM Camp.
Hi, how are you? Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, well, welcome back. I understand that session 2 of this camp is coming up.
Yes.
Can you tell us about your partnership with Verizon?
Sure. We have this amazing partnership with Verizon that allows us to do a summer camp program for middle school students. It's for anyone entering 6th, 7th, 8th grade. And It's a STEM-based program. So the 4 pillars of the program are robotics, microbits. They also do 3D printing and virtual reality. So it's really a neat combination of the fun STEM programs that are out there. And then they also are with us for 3 full weeks. So they get a very robust program that lasts, longer than most camps that are only a week long.
How many young students do you guys have enrolled right now? Susie, I'm sorry, your mic is muted.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I'm sorry. How many students do you guys have enrolled right now?
Oh, so each camp, we do a total of 150 students for the summer. And so we break it down into 2 sessions, each with 75 students.
And which campuses are they at? I see a lot of young kiddos running around here at Ailey Pays.
Yes, so we did it. We're actually, the first session we did it at West Houston Institute. Mm-hmm. That one wrapped up on Friday, and we're going to start again on July 10th at our Southeast campus.
Now, what is the goal of the Verizon Project?
The goal, I think, is to really institute a mindful learning about science, technology, math into the young brains of middle school students. I think they realize that by the time students are in high school, not that it's too late, but it's like their mindset is already set on what they want to do. And whereas here in middle school, they're capturing them right before that high school phase, so they can kind of instill with them a little bit more of planting a seed, if you will, of the careers and what kind of technology is out there that can give you a career out in that field that you might not have thought of before.
Now, I understand that Verizon is partnering with community colleges, Hispanic serving institutions, and historically Black colleges and universities.
Yes.
Presumably the goal is to bring in a more representation of America into these fields.
Yes.
Do we have connections across the city with other schools involved in the same Verizon program?
Yes, we do. The program actually runs at TSU, Texas Southern University, and it's also at Houston Christian University. Those are the other institutions within Houston that have it.
And when students finish this program at 6th, 7th grade, they're going into their middle school years. How will this empower them beyond the summer session, beyond the camp?
I think what it does is just give them an idea of the careers that are out there. And a lot of the technology that we use, it's web-based. So they're using websites and usernames and logins that they can continue doing at home.
Now, I understand you mentioned the 4 tracks like artificial intelligence or media, immersive media. Can you tell us a little bit about the curriculum? What are the students doing during the day? What are their activities? What are their projects?
So their activities, it is a little bit like a school day in terms of the structure. They come in, they do attend all 4 of the modules each day. They start off the day with a warm up, kind of a rehash session of what they did the day before. And then they go to their first class. They're assigned a homeroom. So we separate the 75 kids into the 4 modules, and it's very much like a regular school day. They go to one class for a certain amount of time, and then they switch classes to the next one, and then they break for lunch, and then they wrap up their day with the last 2 classes, alternating with each 4. So each day they do get a bit of all the 4 classes.
And tell me about the 3D printing or the augmented reality, the robotics. What kind of activities are they doing in that class sequence?
So a lot of them kind of intertwine with each other. So for example, the 3D printing, they use a program online where they design widgets and different figures, and they can print them online, but they can also mobilize that figure that they created into their virtual reality headset and see it through the eyes and lenses of their VR headset. But then they can turn around and also print it on the 3D printer, which is really unique.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun. If you were in one of these educational tracks, would you be interested in robotics or virtual reality, or what would be?
I kind of like the 3D printing myself.
All right.
And I'm not a science technology person at all, but it's very interesting. And I feel like it's something that can allow, even if you're not a scientific person or a mathematical person, even if you're just a creative person, it allows you that creative outlet to
Now,
design and build something unique.
at the end of each session, is there a promotion or graduation ceremony or something where they can show their classmates and their families the things they've been doing all week?
Yes, at the end of each session, we invite the families, and it's really a unique and a neat opportunity because we do sort of an open house type situation. They come in, we provide them certificates, they graduate, we acknowledge them for their commitment and their support. And then afterwards, the parents and the kids and the families all go to each one of the classrooms and they rotate between each class. So they're able to showcase to their parents and families everything that they've been doing in each of the classrooms.
Now, I understand that Verizon, by partnering with these schools, sort of reaches thousands of students. How long has Verizon and HCC been doing this? And do we anticipate doing this?
We are in our third year with Verizon. So this is the third summer that we've hosted them.
Okay, and we expect to continue doing that next year?
Absolutely, for sure.
Okay. All right, wonderful. If parents have students that are interested in this program, how would they go about learning to sign up? Or is it are there costs? Is it free? Is it covered by Verizon or HCC? How does that work?
It is covered by Verizon. Yes, we partner with Verizon. They facilitate the cost for this, so it is absolutely free for anyone who signs up. There's no charge, and we also provide breakfast and lunch to all the participants. But we do a recruitment for it in late March, early April. We start recruiting. We work with school districts and past attendees. We do host 2 open houses, one in the fall and one in the spring, where we highlight the program and we encourage people to come to that, and they sort of get an idea when they can register for it.
Well, let me ask you another question, Susie, if I could pivot. As the director of the Entrepreneurial Initiatives Community Relations, can you describe other summer activities that are happening around HCC, maybe for young students, maybe for college students, that your Entrepreneurial Initiatives position is connected to?
I don't have any that mine is connected to directly. However, there are other STEM-based summer camps going on at our other campuses. Southeast, for example, has a virtual reality one. They have a microbit coding camp where they do Apple coding, and then they also have drone camps where students are able to learn and facilitate how to operate actual drone machines.
No, that sounds like a lot of fun. Now, as the history department chair, I have to ask, as valuable as STEM and STEM education may be, do we have some summer camps that are focused on the arts and humanities?
Not that I am aware of. I'm sure that they are out there. I'm just not
There would be someone else's.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, what should parents and students expect on the first day when this summer session starts, so the session 2 begins? What's that like for them?
I think for the kids, what we've realized is, especially with our first session, because summer's just starting, they still have a little bit of that school burnout, if you will. So that first day, they are a little like, oh, this is very similar to school, and it's a little too structured, and they don't see the fun activities and sort of incentive right away. But the beautiful thing that we see is the kids are coming from all over. So a lot of them, some may know each other, but others really don't. Majority don't know each other. So they're kind of grouped together with a set of brand new kids, and they're very shy the first few days. But then as they look into the modules and see the curriculum and see what they're going to be learning and see the actual technology and the equipment that they're using, then they start to realize, okay, this is a lot funner than school. We're getting to meet new kids. And then once they start working on their projects and really having ownership of everything that they're doing, then it becomes a lot more fun. And we do a lot of like little recreational activities for them to still keep them active and make it still a summer of fun. We do ice cream socials, things like that. And so once they start seeing that, then they start sort of connecting with one another, and they sort of form the bonds so that when the 3 weeks is over, and that last day, they really are feeling like they don't want to leave. We had several students tell us last week, like, it's over. We can't believe it's over. And we don't want to go home. And so that is the really unique thing that I think we love seeing, is sort of that bond and connection that they get. And the idea that they come in very reluctant to the idea of a summer camp, but then they leave very excited and very much willing to want to stay longer.
No, that sounds like a lot of fun and a great opportunity for them to meet some friends, some new friends.
Yes.
Well, thank you. If you could just quickly tell us one more time the when, where, time, whatever parents might need to know about this camp.
Sure. The next session starts on July 10th. My email, they can reach out to me, is susie.molina, susie.molina @hccs.edu. They can send me an email to get more information. And it's July 10th through the 28th, and it's at our HCC Southeast campus.
Well, thank you very much. We will have the information on our post after the show. Enjoy.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Susie. All right, let's go through some announcements before we wrap things up today. Congrats to the HCC Foundation. If you haven't seen it at the board meeting, they had a $20 million and deadline extension. HCC's foundation is celebrating reaching $20 million on behalf of student success. Foundation Board Chair Ryan McCauley says the milestone marks a wonderful achievement because fundraising takes teamwork. In addition, the deadline for scholarship applications has been extended to this Friday, June 30th. Completed applications will be considered for fall, spring, and summer of 2023. And wait, we're already talking 2024 already? Wow. Amazing. We're getting that moving along there. We'll have some information in our post after the show. And you know what? You were talking about smart summer camps. We have some of them that are happening out in Stafford this week.
That's right, Todd. These are for high school students. The various Texas manufacturing industries will be introducing to our high school students over a 5-day summer camp. They are from 8:30 to 2:30 p.m. today through Friday. For more info, check the email address in our post after the show.
Okay, PEP deadlines. Yes, we know them. We love them. You got to get them done by the end of the week. I got a lot of them to work on this week, so make sure you get them taken care of. For details, visit HCC's page or my HCC page, or contact your senior partner, talent relations partner. And the deadline, once again, is Friday, June the 30th. Okay, Instagram One College exhibition. That's happening through August.
Yeah, our HCC Visual Arts Center is hosting a summer-long Instagram gallery serving as the walls for an exhibition of studio classes from all colleges in the HCC system. You can view the link. It's available now through August 14th. It's completely free. Just go over to Instagram at HCC_visual_arts. For info, we'll have an email in our post after the show.
Okay, more congrats. The business plan competition winners. Guess what? HCC recently celebrated its 16th cohort of business plan competition with an award ceremony at the West Houston Institute. We'll welcome one of those winners to the show later this week for Small Business Wednesday. Congrats goes out to all of them. So we were talking 2024. Not, believe me, it's not that far away, like what, 6 months away. But you can still register for the last summer session and for the fall of 2023. But you need to register now. I know you're constantly, being the department chair, you're constantly looking over what courses need to be established. If you need to open new ones, if people fill up courses, you have enough students, you'll open a new one. But they need to register though, right, Nick?
That's right. That's right. Summer 2 starts on July 10th, and we got about 2 weeks left before that session begins. So enrollment is open, and as classes fill, I add more. Whatever the demand students have, we try to meet. Now for the fall is not until August, but enrollment opened, I think, in April. So if you want the best class, professor, location, modality, the time of day, you really need to make those choices quicker. We offer online anytime, online on a schedule, hybrid lab, and in-person classes across the district. To learn more about HCC programs, start dates, and options to cover costs, check out hccs.edu/apply.
All right, so tomorrow on the show, good news for all HCC employees. The board voted on some Well, we're going to get a bit of a raise. And we've got talent engagements. Izzy Anderson's going to be here tomorrow to talk about some great news for all of us who work here at HCC. And for Tasty Tuesday, we'll welcome Tiny Champions, a popular pizza place that's an offshoot of Nancy's Hustle. Check that out. Tasty Tuesday tomorrow. And we'll be talking about some great news for HCC employees. Nick, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Todd. See you next time.
Yeah, we'll see you next time. We'll see all of you tomorrow live 10 a.m. for Up to the Minute.